Begin tonight with frightening tales from passengers on board a jet which arrived in Sydney last night from Honolulu. The Hawaiian Airlines flight was hit by severe turbulence, with passengers hurled around the cabin. A number rushed to hospital along with several crew members. Damage clearly visible in the plane's ceiling.
Arriving in Sydney after a flight from hell.
It was really rocky, like really rocky, and then for about probably a minute, and then we just dropped.
Roughly 5 hours into flight HA451, severe turbulence sent passengers and crew flying into the roof.
At the back of the plane, people with like ice packs on their head, and I think like probably getting like stitches or something because I saw like lights shining to their heads.
On arrival, 3 injured crew were taken to hospital, 12 passengers were attended to, 1 transferred for further medical attention.
It was the worst feeling I've ever experienced in my life.
Turbulence on the ground too, as hundreds of passengers were left stranded due to windy conditions.
Lined up for an hour and was told no, they couldn't put me on any other flight.
Looked at other flights, over $1,000 to replace the flight. So I have to be back at work, on Thursday, so it feels like it's hardly worthwhile, but I guess we'll see. I've got, hire car and resorts and trips booked.
Over 100 flights cancelled last night, more than 40 passengers forced to sleep in terminals.
Around midnight, the plane had only just landed in Sydney and we got told it was cancelled. So it was like lots of kids there and old people.
Leading to overbooked flights this morning.
Our dad's on a different flight now, so we have to wait here for 3 hours because he couldn't move us to the same flight.
And more concerns of windy conditions meant more people left stranded. A further almost 50 flights cancelled today.
Tried to check and they're like, no, it's been cancelled, and my sister and boyfriend are down in Melbourne having the exact same issue.
Are you on hold as well?
Oh, no, yeah. And she's telling me that maybe I can fly from Byron. I'm like, well, I'm in Sydney, so if you can get me to Byron, I'll fly from there.
Air Services Australia didn't have a spokesperson available, but said in an email the impacts of winds in aviation, such as crosswinds, are well established, adding there's plenty of information about it online. Passengers, particularly travelling with Virgin Australia, told us they received email notifications after their original flight departure time. Some saying that those notifications told them they're now booked on a flight from Monday right through until next weekend.
My husband right now received the email. The flight is 7:30. He received the email 8:30. At what time? 8:30.
Well, Virgin actually hasn't said much to us. They haven't said anything about reimbursing us for the flight. They haven't provided any change.
Virgin Australia said it expected disruptions and is working with passengers, while Qantas said yesterday's flight cancellations had a flow-on effect on today's flights.
Sure, the flight will get cancelled, but you would expect some sort of service or attention to us as a customer.
Keziah Dawn for 10 News First.